It's Andrea from WellAndrea, and today I want to talk a little bit about why we should encourage all movement. And I am talking about this today because recently I have been seeing on social media a lot of posts and messages about why we shouldn't tell people that to just move in a way they enjoy. And usually the reason is given is that it really misses the point of the importance of strength training and muscle. And I absolutely agree that we have to worry about muscle. We have to take care of it. But I believe that this message can be really detrimental, because if you tell someone that it is not enough what they're doing, or they really should focus on something else, or something else is much more important, it very easily sends the message that they don't even have to bother. They don't have to bother to go for a walk. You don't have to bother to do Pilates, which is something else that is getting a lot of negative comments recently. And I think most importantly, it absolutely overlooks the benefits of movement that goes far beyond our body, right? Movement, any type of movement, is really good for our body, right? It's good for all of our systems, but movement is also really good for our mental well-being and for our whole person, right? And we are meant to move. And so to give that message that, maybe a walk just, is, people may hear really the message then a walk is pointless. I think that is very dangerous. And it also really overlooks the point that once you start moving in one way, and are consistent in that and enjoy it and see the benefit and see the joy it brings you, right? Like your daily walk, or your daily walks, or your Pilates practice, or your little yoga practice you start every day with. Once you do that and you see how that really makes you feel good and brings you joy, you are much more likely to add to that. And I think, when we start telling people, or we're telling them again, because this has been a message, unfortunately, in the fitness industry for decades, that there is one way to work out and one thing to focus on and one way to do it, that is not good, right? That in many cases helps people sell something. And I just saw a message this morning actually that prompted this video, where somebody was, going on and on about how we're doing people a disservice to say they should just move in a way they enjoy. And then sure enough, at the end of her little video was the instruction to leave a comment with a certain word so that people could get the link to her course that she was, of course, selling. So I really do not think we're doing people a favor by doing this. Now, as I said, I do agree. I think we should do some strength training. And, I think if you don't particularly enjoy that, you don't particularly want to do this, first of all, you can do this at home with a couple pairs of dumbbells. There are many programs on YouTube, free programs that are very good and that help you build whole body strength. And especially when you're a beginner, you can do a whole body program that takes about 30 minutes twice a week, and you will get results. Now, once you become more fit and conditioned and strong, maybe you have to increase that a little bit. Maybe you can also change how you lift, play a little bit with weights and repetitions, and how you arrange the exercises. And you may not have to do that much more. And if the rest of the week you love to swim and to hike and to run and play tennis and do Pilates and yoga or whatever else it is, I absolutely think I encourage you to do that, because I think also one thing that research has shown is that there is a really wide variety of movement that is really beneficial. Recently, well, not so recently, but the focus now in terms of aging is, of course, much less on only muscle, or the amount of muscle we have, which we lose with age, but also power and strength. And especially power, which is moving things quickly, can be maintained and even built. It's a variety of things, like playing tennis or other ball sports and things like that. That can definitely be a part of that. And in general, I think the mobility and stability and just overall movement patterns we can build in something like Pilates or yoga or other work is really, really important for us to age well, to feel good, to do other movements like lifting weights well. And so again, we're not doing anybody any favors if we discourage certain movement. And really, if you look at who this message is coming from, it's almost always somebody who's trying to sell you something. So have a great day. Keep moving in a way that you enjoy, and definitely include some strength training if you're ready for that. And again, it doesn't have to be the absolute primary focus of everything. It is, you have room to move in ways that you enjoy. Bye now.